Hi guys, welcome back to podcast. So for today's video, I will be reviewing this model. So this is one of the latest releases from DCT or Diecast team, and this is the Skyline GTR Z-Tune or Z-Tune from Diecast team, and it is in collaboration with the Top Art. This is another Chinese brands, and they kind of producing a much more detailed models. And but I had no idea that they were collaborating with Diecast team for this model. So yeah, we're going to see what the model looks like later, and is it going to be a very nice detailed one like a top art, or a very decent one like DCT or Diecast team. But first things first, I want to talk about the packaging. The packaging itself, it's pretty similar to the Diecast team, the other Diecast team products, and also from Shadow, the other sub brand or the other brand from DCT. And the packaging itself, it's pretty simple. As you can see from the front, we got the DCT logo in here, and also with the Skyline GTR Z-Tune model name on the front, with the 1/64 scale written on the front. And then we got the top part at the top of the packaging, and on the back side we got this silhouette of the Skyline GTR R34 with the another DCT logo and also the name. And on the bottom we got to see the DCT and also the product name and all this stuff that is not really important. And you also notice that this doesn't have the license, because again, DCT or Shadow is not a licensed product. So yeah, that's about it for the packaging. And now I'm going to open the packaging, and we are going to take a closer look on the model and see the details. Right, so this is what the model looks like outside of the packaging. And before I want to talk about the diecast itself, the base that they comes in is pretty similar to the BMW 850 CSI that I've reviewed earlier. And we got to see the DCT and the NISMO GTR Z-Tune R34 on the front. And then there's nothing to see here. We got this plain black plastic with no holes for the screws, because again, DCT did not screw their models onto the base. They just put it like this, just like a mini GT. So yeah, this is the acrylic display, and this is the model. So the model itself is based off the Z-Tune R34 GTR, which many brands out there already made. One of them is Eno that I have here, and it's still one of my favorite Z-Tune model in 64 scale, because the proportion, the details, and other stuff, it's just perfect for the scale and the model itself, the Z-Tune. But we are going to take a closer look at the DCT version of the Z-Tune. Starting off from the front, we got to see this plate right here that is obviously said that this is a Z-Tune model. And then we got this pretty nice details of the front headlights with this plastic parts. And also we got this painted front fog lights. And also, if you look closely at the grille, we still got to see the GTR logo in here, which is pretty nice for a cheap brand like this, like DCT. And then moving on to the side of the model, we could see a very nicely done R34 GTR shape of body line. Let's just compare it with the Eno 64. Right, so compared to the Eno 64, I think the DCT has done a pretty nice work on the castings, but I think the proportion, I still chose Eno 64 overall. But this is an already nice model to begin with. And then we got to see the details in here, the air intakes right on the front bumper. And then we are going to take a closer look on the wheels, because this is where the weird things happen for me, because if you look at the wheels, you'll see that this is a 6-spoke wheels, kind of resembling a TE37, the Folk Race TE37. But then if you look right there, you see that that is a Nismo. That is a Nismo decals on the spoke. And for the R34, the Nismo wheels for the R34 is a 5-spoke. So this is kind of like a fantasy model, a fantasy wheels. For the R34, it kind of like they want to do the TE37, the very iconic one, but they also want to do the Nismo LMGT4 wheels, which is kind of weird for this. Yeah, that is the thing that I want to point out about the weirdness of this whole model. It's the wheels, because this is a 6-spoke, but it has the Nismo decal spoke. And then moving on, we got this side mirrors, which is a hard plastic, ABS plastic, so you need to be careful when you hold this model. And then another thing that I like to point out about this model is this part right here, where you could see the body paint inside the windows. So yeah, the reason I'm picking this color is that I don't have a Millenium Jade R34 in my collection, and I think this color, these shades that was done by DCT, is a very nice shades of Millenium Jade. So yeah, that's why I'm picking this color up. But then the problem came when I looked at the inner side of the side windows, because I could still see the body line, the body color inside of this, and it could be fixed by kind of like a simple black paint that you could do for the inner parts, but it would take much more effort and much more time, so I don't want to do that. But I like to point out that if you want to buy the Millenium Jade color, you have to kind of like accept it that when you take a photo, that the color of the body will still visible inside the side window. So yeah, that's the disadvantage of this color. And then moving on to the back side, this is where the favorite parts for the R34 for me especially, because this is the classic and the iconic 4-rounded taillights that was also that was kind of like in every single GTRs. And then we got to see the Nissan Tampo at the center of the trunk, and then we got to see the GTR, and also we got to see the Nismo Z-Tune right here. I'm sorry, my camera can't pick up the details, but you'll see here this is a Nismo and the Z-Tune. And then we got to see the Nismo plate right here, which is a bit odd for me, because the proportion of the letter is not really kind of like an original or an official Nismo dealer plate. It's slightly too big and the font is slightly too thick, but I still like the Z-Tune at the front, but not the Nismo at the back. It's kind of weird. And then you'll see this separate plastic wing with, you see that this is the details that I liked about the DCT R34, because the wing itself is it has a hole in here, so this is a very nice details that was done by DCT. And also for the rear windshield, we got this defogger details. It was sample printed, so that is also a really nice one. And then for the interior, I think they also painted the bucket seat with this kind of red color for the center. You see that? That is pretty neat too for a cheap brand like this. And then for the underside, this is a rubber tires, obviously, with the disc brakes inside, which is really nice. And also the exhaust pipes is a separate part with this chrome finishing. going from the front to the center and through the back of this diffuser. And the diffuser itself, it's pretty unique because Inno64 doesn't offer the diffuser for their Zetune models. Meanwhile, for the DCT, they offered this separate plastic parts for the diffuser, which kind of make the model more aggressive on the back. You see that these four fins that were coming out from the diffuser, so that is really nice. And then yeah, I think that's about it for this video and for this DCT NISMO R34 Zetune. And this is a really nice model, so if you want to buy them, you could go buy them. A pretty nice and pretty decent models from DCT. And yeah, I think that's it for this video, guys, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Thank you guys for watching. Bye.